The Lord has done it finally. Finally. The Lord has done it finally. Finally. When you are expecting something from God, you have prayed, especially for a long time, and God finally did it. That's the kind of song that will fill your heart, that God has finally done it for me. So don't go anywhere, because that is the testimony that we will be sharing in today's stories and lessons. Hi everyone, welcome again to this channel where I share with you Bible stories, parables, principles, characters, and lessons. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, you're welcome. For some time now, we started a series on the story of Abraham, and today we want to continue. One afternoon, Abraham was sitting in front of his tent, and the Lord appeared unto him. He looked up and he saw three men, and Abraham quickly went to go and meet these men. He greeted them and he welcomed them to his home, that they should come and rest, they should come and eat and relax. And these men agreed, and they came to his tent, and Abraham quickly went inside to arrange meal for these visitors. And while they sat down to eat their meal, Abraham stood there with them. And one of the visitors asked Abraham, "Where is your wife Sarah?" And Abraham told them that she is in the tent. And the man told Abraham that about this time next year, I will surely return, and Sarah, your wife, is going to have a son, Isaac. And Sarah, who was listening to what was being said, laughed, because she was very old. She has passed the age of childbearing, and even Abraham is very old. So she laughed. And the man said, "Why did Sarah laugh?" And Sarah said, "No, I did not laugh." And the man said, "Surely you laughed. And indeed, that she's going to bear a son about this time next year." After a while, about that time, the Lord visited Sarah as he has promised, and Sarah gave birth to a son, and Abraham named him Isaac. And on the 8th day, Abraham circumcised Isaac, as the Lord has commanded him. And it happened after a while that the Lord tested Abraham. The Lord told Abraham that he should take his son, his only son, Isaac, and he should go to Mount Moriah and sacrifice him. And you know what Abraham did? The very next morning, Abraham took his son, and he took all the materials that he's going to use to sacrifice his son, the wood, the fire, along with two of his servants, and they went on a journey to the mountain that the Lord had told him. And when they saw the place from a distance, Abraham told his servant to wait while him and Isaac, they went to that place where God told him. And as they were going, Isaac asked Abraham, "The father, where is the lamb for the sacrifice?" Because he saw all the materials that they were going to use. So he asked Abraham, and Abraham told his son that the Lord himself will provide the lamb for the sacrifice. So when they got here, Abraham built the altar, he laid the firewood and everything that he was going to use for the sacrifice. And he tied Isaac, put him on the altar. As he reached out his hand, to take the knife to slay his son, the angel of the Lord called out to him that he should not kill his son. And Abraham looked, and he saw a ram that was caught by his own in the bush. And Abraham took the ram and he sacrificed it to God instead of his son Isaac. And when God saw that, that was great faith. God swore by himself that indeed he's going to bless Abraham, he's going to make him the father of nations. All those promises, God swore by himself that they are going to be fulfilled. And that was how God's promise was fulfilled in the life of Abraham. Do you know when God promised him? When he was 75 years old. But Abraham got his son at the age of 100 years. And Abraham lived a good life after then until he was 175 years old. And that was when Abraham died, at a good old age, and he was buried. And that brings us to the end of today's stories. So we'll go right into the lessons. But before we do that, as it is our custom, have you subscribed to this channel? If you have not, What are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that anytime I drop a new video, you'll be among the first to be notified. Also, like this video and drop any lesson that you have learned from today's stories. Drop them in the comment section below. So let's go right into the lessons from today's story. And the first lesson is absolute faith in God. It means when you pray, you should believe that God will do it. You have knelt down to pray and you have asked God for something. Believe that He's going to do it. Even when it seems impossible, even when we don't see immediate results, believe God. Hold on to His promise that He's going to do it. Just like Abraham. He was old and Sarah, his wife, was past the age of childbearing, but he believed God when God said He's going to have a son through Sarah. And the second lesson is that God's timing is different. When you ask God to do something, sometimes it might take 1 week, sometimes 1 month, and even sometimes 1 year. But you need to be patient and wait on God. It is called a waiting time, a waiting period. Because God's timing is perfect. His time is not like our own time. Sometimes we want to calculate for God. You want it now. But God's time is not like that. So you need to be patient when you are expecting something from God and know that God is working behind the scene and is going to do it. And the last lesson from today's story is that of obedience. Abraham is so big on obeying God. When God told him that he should go and sacrifice his son, it looked contradictory. This is something that he has been waiting on God for a long time, and he is old, and finally God has given it to him. Yet the same God is asking him to sacrifice the son. So sometimes when God gives us instruction, we don't fully understand it, but it is important that we obey Him. Abraham did not know that a ram will be provided. He obeyed God still. When God gives you an instruction, obey Him. Don't delay. God is faithful and He has your interest at heart. Just follow His instruction and you will get the blessing at the end. And that brings us to the end of today's stories and lessons. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, click the like button, and drop your own lessons in the comment section below. I will be waiting to read them. So till I come your way again, bye.